Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well and welcome to the first full cycle video in the Beko WM5100W. I wouldn't normally film this type of wash much, but we're going to do this machine's very first maintenance wash. I'm also going to do a chill and chat because I have a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm going to upload this on the 1st of May hopefully, and yeah, a lot of things are in store. Anyway, so I've kind of refurbished this machine. Whenever I got it, it was in an absolute state, and it still is kind of in a state, but I have cleaned it. It was all rusted. I unfortunately ran out of spray paint while I was doing the job. I ran out of surface primer first, and thought I kind of got enough on it, and I sprayed it, and I wasn't really too happy with the job. And then yesterday, new surface primer arrived, used it, and my spray paint stopped working, so it's currently looking like this so far, but we'll get it sorted. And the rust was all here, all underneath, and the bottom of the machine is still quite bad. I haven't got around to that yet, but I don't really know what I'll do. I might just leave it as it is. Whenever I got this machine, the reason it's rusted so badly is because I think this must have had a door seal change, maybe, at some point, and whenever they changed the door seal, they didn't have the band on it on the inside here, so whenever they were loading the machine, the door seal was coming off and they were using it like that for a prolonged period of time. So, and I'm presuming it was probably used on Mini 30 for everything, as this machine's in an absolute state. So it is. So whenever they were doing their washing in it, the water was obviously flooding out the door. So it wasn't, they continued to keep on using it like that. Which is why obviously it's really badly rusted. This wee machine was made in December 2008, so it's turned, I'm trying to do the maths here, I think 16, yeah, around about 15, 16, I think it's just turned 15, or maybe, you know, it's between 14 and 16, so it is, so it's quite old, so it is, it's done very well. Obviously because of the state though, the drum, I can feel playing the drum spider, so I can, a bit, so I can, it feels a bit like my Aquatech though, but whenever I'm pushing down on the paddle too, I can feel it, so the drum spider is definitely going. I tested this machine on Mini 30, and as you can see, there's already a load of shit that's came off it. The door seal again, all filled with shit. I done a test video, but I don't know if I've got it, if I'll have it uploaded yet. I might not. Might keep it until a later date. But I thought that the burns or something had went really bad. But basically, whenever I was cleaning the door seal, I was obviously pulling it back. So I was, as you can see, this was all black. I've bleached it and it's came up quite well. So it has, but I still have a bit, I'll show you, I still have bits towards the top that I need to do. As you can see, if I pull it back, you can see it's quite bad, especially towards the drum, at the inside and at the top. But I will get there, I think. So it will depend on how long the drum lasts. I can't see me being able, I probably won't sell this on, to be honest. So I won't, but yeah, so we'll go do this on Cotton 90 maintenance wash. Got Fairy Quantum Plus dishwasher tablet. Simply just stick it into the drum. The door handle on it is a bit iffy, so it is. The latch is held on, so the latches on them have two springs. Well, a spring, and it connects to both sides. So if I kind of show you, so the spring would connect one up here and one down here, but the spring broke, so it did, I don't know whether it was a case of whenever I got it or else it broke on the journey home, because this machine is very, very light, and the weight of it particularly goes towards the front. And basically on the van journey back home, it ended up falling on its face. So it did, and it broke a few things, like the lids broke on it. The dial ended up breaking on it, but I managed to fix that. It does still work and all, like, perfectly fine. But the door latch is, like I said, it's only held on, I think maybe either at the bottom or the top, and then it's not held on as another bit, so it's not. So it means I have to kind of hold the door for it to lock, but once it's locked, that's it. So it is. So you can kind of see, like, I've closed that now, and it just kind of opens at times, as you can see, like just from gently pulling the handle. But yeah, this is our drawer. The drawer, I've cleaned it out as best as I can, but it was all built up with washing powder there. That there's just rust that came off the top of it while I was doing that. But yeah, it's not in a pretty state, but I've cleaned it as best as I possibly can. So I have, again, same with the inside of the drawer, but I'm not really going to show that. I think the inside of the drawer is a bit better. But whenever he was putting his washing powder, he was like spilling it all into like a softener and all. It was weird. It was stinking. It was this is definitely the worst machine that I've had condition wise. Anyway, let's plug it into the wall. So turn you on. I had to get a new on-off switch too, so I did. During the video, I'm also going to have the Beko Aquatech one. I have rags and stuff I need washed, so I'll put that on after once this is finished its main wash. So I will. So we're going to do cotton 90. I don't need any extra options. One thing about it too is that the buttons are a bit you kind of you do have to press them in a bit hard, except for extra rinse for some reason, for them to work, as you can see. But again, doesn't really bother me that much. Anyway, so dishwasher's in, dishwasher tablet's in, water's on. Let me get going. So cotton 90. There we go. So I'll come back in a wee second. I want to wash my hands just with how stinking that is. Programming on this is very, very different compared to my old one. So it is, because this is obviously one of the earliest ones, whereas mine was a very, very late one. One of the last one was that they made. And I think this must have been like one of the first ones that they made from this range. But yeah, I'll be back in a wee second. So you also notice that this one does static fills too, whereas my one doesn't. It's quite interesting. just a wee bit. Oh dear. Tell you what, it uses quite a bit of water, this one, so it does. But it's very possible that it's doing that because of how gunked up it is. Anyway, so the main topics of this video, I want to talk about the month of May, video wise. I want to talk about stuff in my shed. Like if I show you, my shed's changed quite a bit. We have AEG, we have the Dyson in here, so we do. I cannot get that gearbox on for the life of me. Big things are happening with this machine, but only if I get that gearbox on, which it's an absolute nightmare. Miele's there, Creda's up there with new brushes, Asco's there, and Beko WM5100W is there. So that's all the machines I have. Still have the demo LG. It's in my dad's shed where the Dyson was. So it is, because it take up like so much space in here. So it did. But yeah. So that's my shed. So everything else apart from like the Beko WTL, of course, if it's not here, then it's been sold on or unfortunately scrapped. I think there is like quite a lot I want to talk about, which is just handy with it being on like a 2-hour wash, 2 or 3 hours. I don't know how long it'll be on this wee one. On my one it was 2, so it was, and then 60 and 40 cottons were 3 hours. So they were, because they were like the eco standard cycles, but they still heated properly. Whether this one will is another story again. But yeah, I think I want to talk about like even like the miele W2 as well. I'm just gonna go on a ramble a lot, so I am. So vintage Electrolux had to go, so it did. I got 2 washes out of it. It had a motor issue, so it did. The motor was going on it, and that's why I was so loud on spin. I thought it was the bearings, and I ended up I took it outside, took the belt off, and I realised that the bearings were perfectly fine on it. It was the motor, and because of it being such a rare, like a rare machine, with such a slow spin, I couldn't get a motor for it, so I couldn't. And it was at a time whenever my shed was absolutely bulging, so it was, and I made the decision to leave it outside just. Yeah, I got the Cottons pre-wash video out of it, and like a color 60 video out of it. I didn't use it much, like I said, I only used it twice. Because it was a hot and cold fill machine, it also didn't heat properly, so it didn't. 90 done, with a load 90 done 65, so it did. There's already bits of crap in it, so there is. And yeah, 60 done 40 as well. So I think them 2 videos will come out in May, in the middle of May, after the Creda is done. So Creda month, kind of. I've only got enough videos for 2 weeks of the Creda, so there'll be a video up every single day with it. So there will be, yeah. And they'll all be, I normally had it, but at times were like all over the place, like so I'd upload, so say like with the last ones I've been doing it, like one upload goes up 12 o'clock, the next day it goes up at 2 o'clock, the day after that it goes up at 4, and then the day after that up at 6, and then back down to like 10 o'clock in the morning or 12 UK time. Whereas with the Creda I'm gonna do it where all of them will come out at 12 o'clock in the afternoon UK time, just to make it a bit cleaner. Pretty much try that out and see how it goes. But yeah, I did get I got 10 or something full cycle videos of the Creda, I think. I got all the cottons done and all the synthetics done, and then I done cottons pre-wash and the machine broke on me. So it did. You'll see that in the last video with it. It just broke out of nowhere. The motor brushes just started to go. The arcing was so bad on it. Oh, but I have new brushes coming, so I'll get them fitted at some point. But for now, I have the Krita stored up, just while waiting like space and stuff. The LG went to a new home, so it did. I didn't get much filmed of it. I never really used the LG, but it was a good machine. I did like it, so I did. Although the heating was a bit iffy, I think. Before an AI machine, gosh, it was big, massive difference from my Samsung that I had a few years back, the Series 5 Plus. It was a good machine, I just didn't really use it, and that's the thing with the machines now. Out here in the shed, I'm only really using the Asco and the Beko Ecotech. Those are like my daily machines, along with the Beko inside. It's great. I absolutely love having that machine inside. So it'll be inside for a long time, I imagine. So it will. Although at the same time, we know what I'm like. Don't take everything. Things I say don't age well very often, so I don't. But yeah, the Beko WTL's done like 90 washes altogether, so it has. It's great. I love it. Really good machine. It just gets everything done so quick. So it does no faffing about, no wasting time balancing, no limiting spins. It just, you stick it on and it does what you set it to do. It's great. So it is. And that's why I say now, for me personally, I don't think it's worth spending a crap ton of money on a washing machine, so I don't. But at the same time, I know that today, everything's just gone downhill big time. So it has. And yeah, I think like expensive machines like for the house just isn't my market. That's just on the heating now, so it is. Seems like it's doing a wee bit of faster tumble now too. But yeah, like I really like that water level it's doing. I was going to fill it up myself, but I think I will leave it. So I will. And for this first maintenance wash, and sure if I need to fill it up in the other ones, then a wee bit higher than I will. But for now, that's perfect. So it is. I don't really want to go too fast with my rambling, but I think we'll talk about the Migos and stuff. So obviously the W2s have came out. There's been quite a lot of backlash, as completely expected, with the fact that they don't have any drum paddles. I had a lot of high hopes for them whenever I saw them at IFA, and then my high hopes, as soon as I saw the videos, they went like that. I was going to buy one myself, so I was. Had been, with the fact that I got to sell them at IFA, I thought, it'd be, like a good thing to have. Also, like, to remember IFA and all, and also to try something that's very, very different for a washing machine. So that was the original plan for me, and then, of course, I saw the videos of them. And the Migos here, they retail for £3,000. So they do, with like they're dearer here probably because of like the import tax and all. So I think they're like 800, basically £800 more than are in Germany. And yeah, that's a lot of money. And I saw the videos and I just don't want to try one now, so I don't. It's too much money to waste for something I don't like. And I have my miele, the W1's in the corner now. I never use it, so I don't. It's a closet. It works better as a closet than a washing machine, so it does. So I just never use it. if the W1 was my machine, I would have sold it on. But it's not. It's my parents'. So it's, just sitting here collecting dust. It's just not flexible. So it's not. You have like your quick power wash. 1 hour 15 wash, quite good. But then you have, to get a 1600 spin, you have a big jump up to 3 hours. Cottons with quick's absolutely terrible. There's no load sensing on it. So there isn't. It doesn't adjust at all anymore. So it doesn't. The lower temperature cottons on the miele W1, on my one, used to drop off like an hour. But it only had a certain amount of time to heat. And then they done a software update, and that was bye-bye to the load sensing. So it was completely, the hotter washes, you're lucky if they take off 5 minutes. Not joking. And yeah, it's just a £1,500 machine, and I just feel like it has like nothing to it. There's times where the only thing, it adjusts the water levels and the wash action. And sometimes it does a really good intensive wash action, and other times it does this really crappy slower like tumble thing. It does like softronic motion where it speeds up and then speeds down. But the softronic, so on an older miele, they would have went up to about 90 RPM, nearly distribution speed, and then slow back down. Whereas on my W1, it starts off really slow. You're lucky if you get to about 50 RPM, and then it slows back down again. I just don't like the wash action of it, so I don't really like it. Like you may have seen like comments and stuff where I said to some people like, it's not worth spending stupid money on a machine, and that's pretty much why. But I do like the Asco, so I do. I definitely prefer the Asco of the miele, big time. So I do. I turned the 3D sensor off on it, so I did, and yeah, it doesn't have panic attacks anymore on its spins. You do get good days and bad days with it, so you do. I haven't done washing out here in a wee bit, so I haven't, because the weather's been crap. But I'm gonna do some washing out here today. But yeah, whenever the Asco limits now, I just pause it and start it again, and that normally gets it spinning to a better speed. But yeah, yeah, I had a lot of high hopes for the W2, so I did. But one thing I kind of wanted to say in a community post, but I'll do it here. I feel really bad for all the negativity that lemons are getting. The people who bought a W2 on their videos, like you see like every video that they put, and it's like flooded with 100 comments. Especially I've seen like a couple of comments where it's mainly, I feel bad for them, especially where it's like directed at them. There was a really rude one that I seen one of the days, and like even like for me, everyone's financial situation's different, so it is, but yeah, like at the same time, like I do not like them W2s at all. So they absolutely ruined the quick power wash. So they did. Even whenever I seen them, in Germany, you can't have it with like quick anymore. The 1 hour 15 quick power wash is completely gone. So it is. Quick power wash, if you do a small load and no options, it only does one rinse. If you can even call it that. It does like 3 slow swings, and that's it. So it does, from what I've seen. But again, like at the same time, I know myself, having a machine and watching it on a video is completely different. And yeah, take it from me, it's completely different compared to whenever you actually have the machine in person and are watching it yourself. But at the same time, like I said, it's too much money to spend on a machine that you think you're not gonna like. I think Miele have definitely went in the wrong direction lately, so they have. It was bad enough with the W1 and the software update that it had, and now they've taken away an essential feature on every washing machine. There's a reason to have drum paddles, so there is, and yeah, with the new one, the new W2s, you can clearly see why they need them. Yeah, I don't like the fact that they steam the washing either, so I don't rather than wash it. And for me, I want my washing to be washed in water, so I do not steamed and then rinsed. Especially not for like steamed for 3 hours and then rinsed. I want it like this, a bit of water to wet the clothes and get them sloshing about. But yeah, again, everyone's different, so they are. As I know myself, that I'm sure like there is plenty of people who like to be, you know, as eco-friendly as possible, and a miele with a power wash is definitely the way to go if you want that. But for me, it's just not for me, so it's not. But absolutely high respect for the people who bought one of them machines, especially if they like it. If they like it, then fantastic, you know. It's good to be unique in that sense. You know, don't go with the crowd, go with yourself. If you like it, that's, you know, really good. I always go back to my Hot Point Active Care with that. Like I watched videos of them and called them absolute shite. So I did glitchy, waste of money, £400, terrible machine. And then one popped up on Gumtree, I got it myself, and it was great. You know, it's definitely one of them things, like, so it is. A bad machine might not always be a bad machine for everyone. It's like, for me, I absolutely hate the new Bekos, the shotgun. For me, I don't like them, so I don't, apart from design-wise, they seem alright design-wise, but programming, too much faff and too low quality. But again, another person might have a completely different experience to that. They might buy a new Beko and it might last 7 years, just like one of these did back in their time. It's just a matter of luck these days, so it is. Nothing's built like it's used to. It's not a case anymore where you can just start a wash and the machine will do what you set it to do. They're all built now where they do whatever they want. So, and that's just the way things are going for them to be more eco-friendly, because that's what the brands obviously want now. Even if that machine, even if that means, thank you, that the machine gets a shorter lifespan. But yeah, like I said, like with the Active Care, I really liked it, so I did. I sold it on to the family with the Hoover link, and I can't believe I had that machine like 2 years ago. If the family with that machine have had it like 2 years now, it still works, so it does. I know I haven't videoed it in recently, so I haven't. My mental health has been a bit poor recently, so I haven't been going out to see family or anything like that. I've just been in a little quiet way. I've been struggling quite a bit, to be honest. So I have. And then yesterday, out of nowhere, something clicked at me and I was like, right, I'm ready. I'm sick of like living in the past, because that's what I've been doing for the past a lot of time. Like I talked about it in the life story video, so I did. The past few months I got quite worse, so I had like no motivation, and then I started getting out a wee bit more, like going on walks and stuff, getting out in fresh air, coming out here a bit more, and getting off that damn phone more. Which is handy, like videoing, so it is, because it means I can't go on it. It's great. But yeah, I know it's weather's crap. Yeah. How does work? Yeah. 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 I'll come. Alright. Yeah. I haven't long started it. Stinking. Yeah, I'll come in for a wee minute. We'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. We can continue our wee chill and chat. For now, you can watch the washing machine in peace. I'll give you peace from my motor mouth. Thank you. Felt you can really smell that. Oh, it's finished eating and all. Flipping hell. It's hot. Didn't think it'd be finished eating so fast. But I suppose that's what happens if you put like a 2000 watt heater in a 5 kilo machine. Oh good, it does do them. Very good. Wasn't sure whether this one done distributions or not. That'll make a big difference for getting it all clean, so it will. I can't even remember what I was talking about before I left. in the topic of like new machines and stuff, so I think from now on most of my buys are going to be second hand. So they are. Back like last year, the year before, I was buying quite a few new machines because of the fact that I didn't have any transport or anything like that. So I wanted to try more new ones out. But over time, of course, I've realised whenever you buy new machines, and then you have them for a bit and sell them on, as expected, you lose a lot of money. So you do. And I realise now I only use like. Sorry. Someone stuck at the back of my throat. But I realise now I only use like one or two out here as like daily machines, so I do. So I think it's better. So what I'll do now, I think, is buy a few machines second hand, film them a bit, and then sell them on. Because it keeps a nice flow of things, so it does, and keeps me entertained, gives me something to do. Because whenever you have anxiety and stuff, you don't really have much to do. So you don't. Yeah, out here is always like a happy place, so it is. I think that's another thing too, like with that Aquatech, I built that from scratch pretty much. Stripped the old machine down and built a new one, brand new machine in its carcass pretty much. And obviously, like whenever you like grow up and you're into washing machines, you're looked at like you're really weird and all. And so whenever you do something like that, like you don't feel like as impressed in yourself. A lot of people have been saying like me, like, flipping goodness, you built that all yourself. And you know, like, it's something that an everyday person couldn't do. Like you think like some people don't even know how to like change a pump, you know, and then like there's some of us building them, you know. But yeah, like after thinking about it properly, like it's a really cool thing, so it is. It's very weird using one of these again, so it is after so long. I haven't used one from this range in well, the WTG will be 7 this year. I really can't believe that, so I can't. It's still going well in its new home, so it is. The ones who have it, they say it's the best machine they've ever had. A big difference because they had a wee Bosch machine, so they did like one of them Belay made one, so really low end one, and they had that for like 20 years or something like that until the Burns went, and then of course I sold them the WTG. It's even hard to believe that too. Like I think they've had that about a year now or something like that. So they have, and it's still going really well. Right, that's just on to a cool down. I need to go back in. So I because I'm going to stick my attack on. Yeah, cycle's looking to be quite short. So it is. So I'll be back in a second. Even that's different too. My one done anti-suds. So many differences with this wee one. Oh dear. I think there might be something up with the Aquatex puller belt. So what I see my here, I guess like thumping from it, but so far it still works, so that's the main thing, eh? Nice shitty water. Stinking. hear it there, so you could. This may seem a wee bit crazy. Now I've used about 20 Bekos, I'd imagine, in my life. Probably around about that amount. And this is the very first one that I've used that does like that boost type of ramp up on the first run. But yeah, like I said, it's very, very different to my old one. Very different. Yeah, I think from this video, this kind of challenge hat thing I'm doing, I want you to take away that don't let others stop you from doing what you want to do. And don't let others be judges of what you should get and what you should not get and how you spend your money and stuff. How you spend your life even. If you love washing machines, then tough to other people. Because like myself, it could get you farther than them in the long run. Definitely. Talents can be gifts at times. I'm surprised I've managed to get this machine level as well as I have. I don't think I said at the start, but it's missing a back foot, so it is, and the foot design on this one's very weird because of it being so old. On this Beko, only the front 2 feet are adjustable, and it uses these like rubber things at the back, which is very rare because I've never ever seen a Beko with them before until this really old one. On my old one, all of the feet were adjustable, just like all the Bekos today. So I currently have it at the back right part of the machine sitting on a towel, so it is. But that seems to have managed to get it level as best as I can. It's not even really shaking or anything on the spins. But I can well imagine that would be very different if I looked in it. What do you think I forgot to say? So the AEG and the Creta are going to a new home too, so they are. But I still have them until June. So I do. You're going to another family friend, which is absolutely amazing. I haven't filmed too much of the AEG recently as I haven't really used it. I did get a few videos done of it, so I did. I suppose the back part of my shed's in full use because of the Dyson being there getting fixed. I'd really like a second shed or even like a washroom. So I would have like this big massive plan in my head. So I do, which would definitely be far better spending the kind of money on that rather than on the washing machine. So I would, but all depends on the parents, I'd like to have like this fancy garden room thing, and then like in that have my the machines that are working and they're like my daily drivers, so like the Asco and the Beko Aquatech, and probably the Miele, I guess, to sit there. And then have this shed as like my workspace thing, and then have like an overhang in the middle, so I could do washing outside in the summer. That would be absolutely lovely. That would be like my dream setup. But we can think big, can't we? Imagination's free. I'll probably need to do about 3 or 4 90 washes, and then I need to continue to bleach the door seal on this, and then once it's done it should be all good to go. Maybe do a couple of loads in it and get some cycles filmed. But in the end I would imagine I'll probably have to scrap it. So it's currently on life support. So it is poor thing. It's had a rough life. I've actually forgot to say the drum on this is different than my one too. My one didn't have them holes at the back. Now the ones at the very back, yes, but then you can kind of see there's like there's wee holes on the rim, I guess. Mine didn't have them, so it didn't. I can't remember if I said, I think I might have, and whenever I started the video, so whenever I tested it last night, so I did, and whenever I was, cleaning it beforehand, I was obviously pulling the rubber back to try and get it all clean, and I pulled it back at the top and all too, and I didn't realise that I hadn't put it back into its normal shape. So I hadn't, or maybe it was whenever I was moving the door seal, I had to, whenever I got it, the door seal wasn't lined up properly, so it wasn't, and it was annoying my OCD. So it was, so I ended up putting myself through a lot of annoyance and taking the band off and fixing the seal and all, just so it was all perfect. But before I started it, I noticed the machine was making like this rubbing noise, and I thought it was the bearing seal or something because I hadn't used it, because it hadn't been used for a bit. And then I started the wash went okay, and it got to its final spin, and it got to 1000 RPM, and the bit of the door seal, I didn't realise it. There was a bit towards the drum rim where it was lifted up, and that part got caught in the drum. So while it was at 1000 RPM, the bit that was lifting up, it started to like go back down and lift up again, like right round the drum, and it kept on getting faster, and I was like, oh my goodness. I don't know why it does that as well, so I don't. It seems to be a thing it does on the 1000 RPM spins. Again, programming is all very new to me on this one. Yeah, it is part of the programming, so it is. It's weird. It's really weird. It's very different, so it is. So if my memory serves me right, I think it's either this one, like this part, or the next part that's it balancing for the spin, I think. It's just very different. Pretty sure it's this one. Don't think it does it again. this just flies up to 600, then up to 1000. very bright outside now, so it is. Programming is really weird on it, isn't it? So I think it waits for a second and then it turns its pump back on and goes onto its balancing for its spin. Whenever I first got it, I stuck it on spinning drain and I was like, what on earth is it doing? It's really weird. It's just the way it works though. I don't know, really don't know why the Aquatech makes that noise now. There we go, that's us balancing for our final spin now. I think the only similarities that this one has to mine is the way that the lights work on it. But everything else, well, pretty much everything else is completely different. Be very interested in trying this one out. And we just have to wait a wee bit for the door to unlock. Yeah, interesting machine. You got what you'd expect, and I think a bit more for £180. Cheap machines, but flip the sure were tanks. These ones, very well built. They're just so simple, so there isn't really anything to go wrong on them. They only have one PCB and then like just a brushed motor and pump and drawer and all, you know. Nothing overcomplicated. The ready light thing's also different too on this one. Because on my one, whenever it said ready, the door would be unlocked. Just have to give it a wee minute so you do. There we go. I think already that drum cleans, you know, made a difference. Don't think it smells as bad, so it doesn't. Can't really get in now. Sounding better. I just really don't know with them, so I don't Bekos. I don't know. If I get some use out of it, then I can't really complain. Sure can't. It's still working now, so that's the main thing. Drum is quite big on it for 5 kilo, like. Yeah, very happy. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.